100 babies. No words, no love, no identity. This is not a horror story. This is a thought experiment. And the result is worse than death. Imagine a room. No windows, no clocks, no sound except breathing. The walls are white, but not clean. The air is warm, controlled, artificial. Inside this room, there are 100 babies. They are all newborns, all healthy, all human. But from the moment they enter this room, something fundamental is taken away. They will never hear a voice speak to them. They will never be held with affection. They will never be told their name. They will be fed. They will be cleaned. They will survive. But they will not be raised. And the question that defines this entire experiment is simple and terrifying. What happens to a human being when no one treats them as human? Throughout history, we have asked many dangerous questions. What is consciousness? What is morality? What separates us from animals? But there is one question humanity has always been afraid to truly answer. Are we born human, or do we become human? Because if humanity is something we learn, then it can also be lost. This experiment does not ask whether babies can survive. It asks something far more unsettling. Can language emerge without being taught? Can empathy exist without being shown? Can identity form without recognition? Or stripped of every social mirror, does the human mind collapse inward? The rules of the room are simple. No verbal language, no sustained eye contact, no emotional interaction. Caretakers exist, but they are silent, efficient, anonymous. Food arrives on schedule. Medical needs are met. There is no abuse here, no violence. And yet, there is no love, no reassurance, no response to cries beyond physical necessity. This is not an experiment in cruelty. It is an experiment in absence. And absence, as neuroscience has shown, can be far more destructive than pain. The human brain does not develop in isolation. At birth, the brain is unfinished. Nearly 80% of neural connections are formed after birth. Not through food, not through sleep, but through interaction. Every smile shapes neural pathways. Every response wires expectation. Every voice builds the architecture of thought. Without social input, the brain does not simply grow slower. It grows wrong. This experiment removes not just care, but culture itself. In the first days, nothing seems unusual. The babies cry, they move, they reach. Their bodies behave exactly as expected. But something subtle is already happening. Cries go unanswered, not ignored, but unmet. And the infant brain, still learning cause and effect, begins to adjust. Neural circuits that expect response begin to weaken. This is not emotional damage yet. This is adaptation. The brain learning a terrible lesson. Sound does not bring help. Connection does not exist. Weeks pass, then months. And something deeply disturbing begins to occur. The crying slows. Not because the babies are content, but because the brain has learned that crying is useless. This is known as learned helplessness. It is a survival strategy. The brain conserves energy by shutting down expectation. To an outside observer, the room grows quieter. To a neuroscientist, this is the sound of development collapsing. Because silence at this stage is not peace, it is surrender. Human identity does not emerge alone. It requires a mirror, a face that reacts, a voice that responds, a presence that confirms you exist. In this room, there is no mirror. No one smiles back. No one says a name. And without reflection, the self cannot form. There is no me, only sensation, hunger, discomfort, relief. Thought remains fragmented, unstructured, pre-verbal. The mind does not build a narrative because there is no one to listen. By the end of the first year, the damage is no longer theoretical. Brain scans would reveal massive underdevelopment in regions responsible for language, emotional regulation, and social reasoning. These children are alive, but they are not becoming people. And this leads to the most dangerous realization of all. Humanity is not guaranteed by birth. It is constructed, brick by brick, moment by moment, through other humans. Remove that process, and the result is not a blank slate. It is a broken foundation. This is only the beginning. Because what happens next is not quiet. As these children grow, instinct will replace learning. Power will replace empathy. Survival will replace morality. The room will not stay silent forever. And when it finally speaks, it will not speak in words. Language is not sound. It is structure. It is the invisible system that turns noise into meaning and meaning into thought. Without language, the human mind does not simply remain silent. It remains unfinished. In the room, the children grow older. Their bodies change on schedule. Their bones lengthen. Their muscles strengthen. But something crucial does not happen. No words are spoken. No sounds are repeated with intent. No patterns are reinforced. There is nothing to imitate. And imitation is how language begins. Human language does not emerge spontaneously. It is not instinctive like breathing. It must be heard, responded to, mirrored, corrected. Without that loop, language never forms. The brain waits. Then it moves on. By the age of 2, a typical child understands hundreds of words. By the age of 3, they form sentences. In this room, there are no words to understand, no sentences to build. The brain regions responsible for language development remain inactive. Then they begin to shrink. This is called neural pruning. Connections that are not used are eliminated, not paused. Eliminated. The mind is not keeping language in reserve. It is discarding it. The children begin to communicate in other ways. Not with symbols, not with shared meaning, but with raw signals. Crying becomes rare. Vocal sounds still exist, but they are random. No repetition, no intention. Sounds are not used to convey ideas, only states. Discomfort, fear, frustration. There is no word for hunger. There is only hunger. There is no word for pain, only sensation. And without words, time itself begins to dissolve. Language is how humans understand past and future. Without it, there is only now. No memory framed as narrative. No anticipation framed as plan. Just immediate experience. This changes everything. Because thought, as we understand it, depends on language. Abstract ideas cannot exist without symbols. Justice. Self. Tomorrow. None of these concepts can form. The mind cannot ask questions, because questions require structure. It cannot reflect, because reflection requires labels. The children are conscious, but they are not self-aware. They do not think, I am. They simply are. As years pass, a new system begins to emerge, not language, hierarchy. Without words, communication becomes physical. Proximity, posture, force. Those who are stronger control resources. Those who are weaker adapt. This is not cruelty, it is efficiency. Without language, cooperation is limited. There are no agreements, no shared rules, no explanations, only outcomes. The room becomes a place of silent negotiation. A glance means threat. A movement means challenge. Touch means dominance. There is no word for apology, no word for forgiveness, no word for stop. Caretakers observe this change. They intervene only to prevent death, not to teach, not to guide. Because the absence must remain pure. As adolescence approaches, the effects intensify. Hormones flood bodies that were never taught restraint. Aggression increases, but it is not emotional. It is mechanical. There is no anger as humans understand it. Only impulse, only reaction. The brain never learned delay, never learned internal dialogue, never learned restraint through language. A thought cannot say, wait, because there is no word for wait. There is no inner voice, no narration, no conscience speaking in sentences. Morality does not emerge, because morality is linguistic. It is taught. It is explained. It is reinforced through stories. Here there are no stories, no myths, no lessons, no shared memory. Each mind exists alone, side by side with others, but never together. What emerges is not a society, it is a population. Human bodies operating without human cognition. From the outside, they may look like people. From the inside, they are something else. Not animals, but not fully human. They cannot lie, because lying requires language. They cannot plan long-term, because planning requires symbols. They cannot imagine alternative futures, because imagination requires words. They live entirely in reaction, moment to moment, now to now. And this reveals a truth that is deeply uncomfortable. Language does not merely allow humans to communicate. It allows humans to be human. Without it, intelligence does not disappear. It fragments. Emotion does not disappear. It overwhelms. Consciousness does not vanish. It narrows. The room has created something unprecedented. Beings that are biologically human, but cognitively unfinished. And the most disturbing part is this: there is no way back. After a certain point, language cannot be learned. There is a critical window. When it closes, it does not reopen. Even if words are introduced later, the brain no longer knows how to use them. Meaning cannot attach. Symbols remain noise. The absence becomes permanent. There is a moment in human development when something irreversible happens. A moment when the mind stops waiting, stops expecting, stops hoping that meaning will arrive from the outside. In the room, that moment comes quietly, not with a scream, not with violence, but with absence. By late childhood, the children no longer seek interaction. They do not look for faces. They do not reach out. Not because they are calm, but because the concept of another mind never fully formed. Human identity is not discovered internally. It is assembled externally. A child learns who they are by being recognized, by hearing their name, by seeing themselves reflected in others. In this room, there are no names, no labels, no acknowledgement. And without recognition, identity cannot stabilize. There is no sense of self as a continuous entity, only states. Hunger, alertness, fatigue, relief. The mind does not say, "I feel," it simply reacts. As adolescence begins, the body changes faster than the mind can adapt. Strength increases, impulse intensifies, but nothing inside exists to regulate it. No internal voice, no narrative, no rules absorbed through language. What emerges is not rebellion. It is raw dominance. Those with greater physical presence take control of space. Food, movement. The weaker adapt by avoidance or submission, not out of fear, but out of efficiency. This is not a moral system. It is a mechanical one. There is no concept of fairness, because fairness must be explained. There is no concept of cruelty, because cruelty requires awareness of another's inner state. Pain is perceived, but not understood. Suffering is observed, but not interpreted. Empathy never activates, because empathy is learned through shared symbols, through words like hurt, sorry, and enough. None of those exist here. The room has become its own ecosystem. Silent, organized, predictable. Caretakers continue to observe. They see adults now, human in shape, human in movement. But something is unmistakably absent. There are no conversations, no cooperation beyond immediate necessity, no creativity, no art, no play with imagined rules, nothing abstract, nothing symbolic, no culture. Culture requires transmission. Transmission requires language. And without culture, there is no history. Every moment exists alone, disconnected from what came before, disconnected from what might come next. Time is not a line. It is a series of isolated points. This has profound consequences, because without a sense of future, there is no planning. Without planning, there is no progress. Without progress, there is no civilization. The room has not created a new society. It has created a stalled version of humanity, biology without story, intelligence without meaning, awareness without selfhood. If the doors were opened now, if these individuals were released into the outside world, they would not integrate, they would not adapt, they would not learn language. The critical window has closed. The brain no longer knows how to attach symbols to thought. Words would arrive too late. They would be heard as noise, seen as movement, nothing more. This is the final truth of the experiment. Human beings are not born complete. They are built, slowly, delicately, through countless interactions that seem insignificant. A response to a cry, a shared glance, a word spoken at the right moment. Remove those things, and what remains is not evil, not madness, but incompleteness. The room proves something humanity has long suspected but never wanted to face: that our greatest strength is not intelligence, not strength, not survival instinct. It is each other. Without other humans, the human mind cannot finish assembling itself. And so the final question is no longer hypothetical. It is answered. If 100 babies are raised without language, without connection, without recognition, they do not become monsters. They do not become animals. They become something far more unsettling. They become humans who were never allowed to fully arrive. And once that chance is missed, there is no second beginning.